Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. I've been listing all the reasons you shouldn't support the show. You're new. You only listen once in a while when you need the podcast. You're not in a place where you can support the show, or you're in a place where you don't want to support the show. So I'm going to run through the yeses for you. If you're not one in that group, it does take a lot of yeses to support the show. But if you're already listening and hearing me right now, and then you're like, yeah, it's a yes, I'm listening and hearing you, and I already know it's a yes. Yes, right now, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and support the show, like right in this moment. So that would be the biggest yes. Yes, I want to be a part of this thing. Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, I'm listening. Yes, I've heard the messages, because it does take, recently I've been hearing from people that took 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of hearing me and listening to me. So if this is your yes, and you're hearing me and listening to me right now in this moment, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and support the show. And if it's not your yes, that's okay too. I'll be back with more. Thanks, everybody.
If your eyes are the windows to your soul and your glasses are the windows to your eyes, then it's pretty important to find your perfect frames. That's why at Warby Parker, we've made shopping for eyewear as easy and fun as can be. Peruse endless styles in our stores, or use our app to virtually try on frames and get personalized recommendations. To find your next favorite pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to locate your nearest Warby Parker store, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.
This show is supported by Odoo. When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster. I was trying to think of the last time I played mini golf, because this is the second episode of our series Multiplex, tentatively called, and I don't know when the last time I played mini golf was, but because my brain has many multicolored balls rolling around. And you say, what, isn't it supposed to be just one stroke at a time? But my brain, you know what I'm saying? My balls are out of order. I'm saying that with a grin, even though my putt-putt, you can't say that, putt-putting, mini golf, probably not, hard to use as a metaphor for a sleep podcast. Well, we could just agree on that. If you're new, welcome to Sleep With Me. It's a podcast that's here to put you to sleep, keep you company, and be your friend in the deep, dark night. This show is very, very different. It does take about 2 or 3 tries to get used to for a lot of listeners, just because it's so different, but it's friendly. And I'm here to kind of just to distract you from whatever's keeping you awake and let you ease off into sleep. So I'm glad you're here. If you're not sure about this show, that's pretty normal. That's for like regular listeners. Over the years, I've just gotten that feedback. Didn't like you at first. I didn't get, when was the show going to start? Oh, it's always never getting started. So just see how it goes if you're new. But I'm really glad you're here. I really hope I can help you fall asleep. The reason I make the show, I know how it feels not being able to sleep or dreading going to bed. And I know that something distracting and fun can offer some relief. And I also know you deserve some kind of relief in a bedtime you don't have to dread. So I'm glad you're here. If you knew what to expect, we got support coming up. That's how people get to experience the show. There's over 600 episodes ready to go, ad-supported shows. Then there'll be a long, meandering intro, which is separate from the support. And the intro is meant to kind of explain what the podcast is, but I go off track or off topic or both. And they're about 15 to 20 minutes long. And that's meant to ease you into bedtime or to put you at ease and give you a buffer as you're getting ready for bed before you go to sleep. Then there's support. Then tonight will be our episodically modular story, Multiplex, where it's just a group of 4 people, friends, and They had played a game of mini golf, and now they are talking. They're sitting at a picnic table talking as far as someone's telling the tale from, there's a narrator, of course. So, yeah, not bad. And then there's thank yous at the end. So that's the structure of the show and why I make the show. I'm glad you're here. And these sponsors are how we're able to do it for free twice a week.
This show is supported by Blue Land. We hear a lot about microplastics in oceans and food, but they can also come from products we use every day at home, including cleaning products. Blue Land is on a mission to make it easy for everyone to make sustainable choices. Blue Land believes that hardworking, clean products can be the norm, not the exception, so that you can do better for your family and the planet at the same time. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's products are independently tested to perform alongside major brands, and the formulas are free from dyes, parabens, and harsh chemicals. You'll love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets your house clean. Blue Land is a certified B Corp and Leaping Bunny cruelty-free certified. Their formulas are EPA's Safer Choice certified, and many products have also earned Cradle to Cradle's Gold Material Health Certificate. If you're looking to make a small change in your routine, you can get 15% off your first order at blueland.com/prx. Get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/prx. blueland.com/prx.
All right, everybody, Scoots here, and this is our episodically modular series Multiplex, where we take a trip into the world of multiplexes, and yeah, it should be fun. I'm going to catch you up on most. I think the narrator will catch up on most of the details, but it's a pretty simple story so far. 3 friends, high school seniors, it seems like, are playing a game of mini golf. Josie, Wyatt, and Santos. And they all seem to be pretty successful, high-achieving teens, though it seems like Wyatt had recently learned something about a scholarship, not getting a scholarship. And they're playing a game of mini golf to kind of both to celebrate their seemingly impending graduation, but also to kind of because of why it didn't get the scholarship. They're imagining they're playing this competitive mini golf game to get the course record, and that Wyatt would win a scholarship money. Also, Wyatt's sister is a holder of the course record. And as they were playing the game, Wyatt was getting closer and closer, felt realer and realer to where Wyatt was going to win and take the course record from his sister. But then someone appeared out of a culvert, which is kind of like where a creek runs under a highway or a road. And they made a noise, and it was someone from their school, the Corncob Kid, Boyd. And that threw Wyatt off, and Wyatt did not break the course record. But they were, they were really nice about it. I mean, they were upset. Wyatt was upset, but they said, "Hey, Boyd, come on over." And as far as I know, they sat down and started to have a conversation. And that's, I think, where we'll return to the tale. But first, a person who, if I had a tail, it would be wagging. As soon as I knew, how, like dogs, at least, they know. I mean, this is purely speculation, but I imagine their tail starts wagging. My tail, if I had a tail, it would start wagging right when, what's that called? Santinella, I think, when Antonio Banderas crossed over, like past Anderson Pea Soup in Santinella, or Los Baños. Those are stops on the freeway that Antonio traverses on the way here. And now, to set up our new series, episode 2, that you can listen to in any order because it's episodically modular, is our Hollywood announcer, Mr. Antonio Banderas. Thank you, Scooter. The friends beyond the binaries, the ladies, the gentlemen, the boys and girls, it's time to go to the movies with Multiplex. Yeah. Thanks, Antonio. That was definitely different than we've ever had before. I like it. And yeah, that's it. Mr. Antonio Banderas. This is Multiplex, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name's Wyatt, and I've been recording these recollections of a time long ago in my life, long time ago, in what seemed like a galaxy far, far away, hardy har har. At a time in my life, I was on a precipice, and I didn't know where that would take me. And this is a story, I guess it's a long story of how to become a person among persons. So many tales of people flying high or going low and then going back up. But how do you end up in that middle, in the nice middle? And what does it take to get there? The adventure of being a person among people, the undersold adventure. But the irony is this is a true adventure that brought us to that place. And I think where I left off, my friends and I were sitting at a picnic table near the snack bar of Fairview Mini Golf or Fair Glen. Man, I can't even remember Mini Golf in its own glen. My two best friends, Josie and San, and a classmate of ours known as the Corncob Kid, Boyd. And Boyd had recently appeared out of a culvert that ran where the glen, I guess a fair, like the creek that runs through the mini golf course, separating the front nine from the back nine and giving it a nice picturesque feel, as well as little bridges to go over. Eventually, that creek doesn't just end at the end of the mini golf course. It goes under the, I don't even know what road that is, Fairview Glen Boulevard. So it's I can't even, 6 to 8 lane road in two directions, but a road, not a highway, boulevard. But it's not unless boulevard means that has something in the middle, but I think that's a parkway. But underneath it is a culvert, a pretty big one, because while this creek is not a river or I guess technically it could be a stream. It's somewhere between a creek and a stream. And it was in that culvert that the Corncob Kid made some noise or banged something metal and distracted me from my quest to be to have the course record at this mini golf course, to take it from my sister and to imaginarily win a full scholarship to school that I needed, or why at the time I felt like I needed. And I don't know if last time I totally recollected why Boyd was called the Corncob Kid, but it was because Boyd throughout, and it's interesting because it's related to the subject at hand. Boyd always had a corncob pipe, but he didn't have Boyd? I don't think Boyd's nose was button nose and his eyes were eyes. But once upon a time when I was a lad and Boyd was a lad, but people smoked pipes, and not the little pipe, they smoked tobacco out of pipes. And there was stores at shopping malls, like the one we're about to talk about, where people would go and buy tobacco and pipes and pipe accessories. I can't remember what the pipe shop's called right this second. But they would either give away or at a huge discount sell little corncob pipes, not to high schoolers, no, but to kids, to parents, and say, hey, give your kid a corncob pipe. It's a little one. But strangely enough, I never saw a bubble pipe at any of those places, but they were training you early, but more to emulate, I don't think you could, I don't know. We never tried smoking anything out of a corncob pipe, believe it or not. But Boyd always had the corncob pipe on him, or a corncob pipe. I think even in high school, because he was known as a Corncob Kid. I think there's other reasons too, but I can't remember right now. Time escapes me week to week, day to day. But that's why Boyd was known as a Corncob Kid. He always had a corncob pipe, and he had and if you're a Corncob Kid, you got a sense of style that fits, the nickname fits the person fits the nickname. I don't know which comes first. The other thing we had noticed when we saw Boyd, and I don't know who said it, was like, what are you going on an Alpine expedition? Because Boyd had on this gigantic backpack and it was stuffed. And Boyd sat down, and after we got through the niceties and me expressing my displeasure at Boyd surprising us and throwing off my game and my attempt at the course record and an imaginary full ride scholarship, we said, where are you coming from? What are you doing in there? First it was that kind of stuff. Boyd laughed and started to open up the backpack, and he said, Dr. Julius's juice. And we said, Dr. Julius's juice. And he pulled out this giant can, one of those big cans you find in a high school cafeteria full of beans or full of tomato sauce. I believe they're called number 10 cans, but don't quote me on it. He plunked it down on the picnic table, and everything we had on the picnic table jumped due to the weight of this can. It was heavy. We all tried to lift it. He said, it's concentrate. Dr. Julius's juice concentrate. And Josie was like, isn't that the store at the mall? Like, that had, like, milk and orange juice or something weird mixed together? Boyd chuckled and said, yeah, no, that's it, the mall drink. Boyd patted the top of the container and said, this will make 100 glasses of Dr. Julius's juice. And, we looked at each other. And, Corncob Kid was an interesting kid. But we said, you must love, you carry your own juice concentrate around in a backpack when you're hanging out in the culverts. I don't know. We had no idea, right? You must really love it. Do you bring your own can opener? Like, do you mix your own cans? And Boyd held up his hand and said, did that thing where you rub he said, I love my money, man. And he said, I sold this can for $50. And we said 50, what? Like, just probably your reaction. Wait a second. You sold a can. You have a can of juice concentrate from a mall store that doesn't exist anymore. And so where'd you even get that? And he said, the mall. And so we'll get to it, but the mall, the closed mall? And he said, this is already sold to give me my juice dog or something. He said some one word, run on word. So who's that? It's a profile name, Boyd said, from a message board. Or bulletin board? I don't know what they called them back then. Online, Boyd said. Or I don't know, I can't remember what they used to call it back. Words get confused as they change names. But Boyd was into this stuff before it was even the internet. And he said, yeah, this is where, when juice is on your mind. And we said, what? And he said, this is an online... Again, this is just my explanation of it in the present day. Online bulletin board, like a forum or a Discord for fans of Dr. Julius J. Juice. He said $50. And he said, yeah, no. He goes, and there's hundreds of cans just waiting for me to take them. Just waiting, Boyd said. He said, in the mall, that's stealing, isn't it? You're stealing cans from the mall? And I don't know, Sandra Josie said, it's looting, I guess, technically. Boyd said, the mall's been closed for 6 years, over 6 years. Dr. Julius J. Juice declared bankruptcy over 3 years ago. He said any claims on their property have been resolved a long time ago. I mean, technically, we would have to wait 10 years, but it's all settled. I looked it up, and we said online, and Boyd said, yeah. And Boyd tapped the can again. He said, this is abandoned merchandise. And then we were like, wait a minute, but didn't the government, fund or for the mall? Like, isn't the mall the government's property now? Is it who is it anyway? Like, isn't it, what about all the stuff they say about the mall, man? And Boyd shrugged and said, well, if government owns the mall, then this is all our property, huh? But he goes, no, this is just left behind, forgotten. It's like, He's like, it's going and fishing stuff out of the garbage, more or less. If I was to go into the garbage and take an ice cream cone, you guys wouldn't like me doing that, but you wouldn't have a problem with it. It's the same thing. We all sat there for a minute trying to process it all. And Boyd said, if only I had a truck, I could get it out, man. $50 a pop. We're like, well, how many are there? And Boyd said, at least 20 cases, 12 cans to a case. He goes, but they're stacked up, so I don't know how many cases, how far it goes back. But definitely 20 cases. We're like, is this even, he goes, it's a sealed can. None of them, he goes, if it was dented, I wouldn't sell it, or I'd sell it as dented for $25. And so we started to do the math. I don't even know. Math's not my strong suit anymore. Calculation. 200, let's see. 20 times 12 equals times 50. $12,000. And he said, yeah, at least $12,000. Boyd said, I'm willing to split it with all of you. 50-50. And we said, wouldn't it be 25, 20? And he's, no, 50 for me and 50 for the three of you to split. And I was like, well, it sounds risky, you know. I don't know about this. None of us did, right? And Boyd said, well, it's simple. We go back through the culverts, take a turn. We'll come out right near the entrance to Dr. Julius J. Juice. He goes, I got a padlock on the door. He goes, the front of the store is cut off. We just go in the back door, go back, then go into the store, then go into the storage area. Goes, take the cases out, carry them back in. Goes, it'll take us a few trips. Then we'll relocate them closer to where we could park a truck. Then we'll load the truck up, and we're good to go. Yeah, it's gonna be some work. I don't know if you all look like you could handle it, but yeah, it'll take a few hours. And he goes, there might even be like another way we could find to park the truck closer. But he goes, yeah, no problems at all. And he goes, we just take our time. Most of it will be underground. He goes, we'll have everything stored. I'm thinking 5 hours tops. If we do it tonight, no one will even know. And we go, but what if we do get caught? And he's like, by who? Like, I've been poking around down there. I haven't seen anybody. And I'll sell them. You could even hold on to them if you don't trust me. You know, you could hold them as leverage. And as I sell them, we'll split the money. It's like one of those win-win-win situations. And this isn't like your fake contest to win an imaginary scholarship. This is real currency. And the words came out of my mouth before my brain even, I said, I'm in, instantly, before I thought about it, before I even processed it. I had spoken, and San and Josie just looked at me, kind of slack-jawed, and moving their mouths, like trying to process what was happening. A little bit like a dream. And then Josie eventually said, we're in, and pulled Josie's keys out and put them on the table because Josie had a pickup. We can use my truck once we have the boxes. And then we said, so what's next? What do we do next? And Boyd said, well, we'll wait. We should probably leave here and then come back. Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys have, a story? I'm good for the night. And so we went and moved the cars and the truck down the street and called our parents and covered for one another for sleepovers. But, you know, we were already seniors, so it's a pretty standard process we had done before. And we waited for the mini golf to shut down. And believe it or not, we didn't even have to really go on the mini golf's property because up along the side of the road, you know, the road is about, the parking lot started at road surface, but there's a trail like run along the side of the road that sloped down as the slope of the road into the glen. But on the outside of the mini golf property. Never even realized that or that there was even a little fence there. So technically, we weren't even sneaking into the mini golf course. And we decided that, we'd just pull the truck up and this would be our last stage. And Boyd even had a couple blankets and said, we can even hide the stuff and move it. If we don't get it done, don't worry, we'll be fine. And so we went into the culvert. We did get, this is one of those situations where your feet and your ankles are going to get wet, but it was nice out, warm enough night. Water was pretty warm. And Boyd went up and after you went into the culvert, which is wide enough for 3 people to stand side by side, standing up. This is a big one. Like about 5 feet in was like a gate, a barred gate, and it had a lock on it. Looked like something out of like an old Western movie where people would be behind it. And a couple of us gulped, and then Boyd pulled out a wrench and started wrenching the bar all the way on one side, reaching around the back and unscrewing these bolts, and eventually just pushed the bar away, took it off and shoot us through. And then Boyd started putting the thing back. We said, what are you doing? You're going to keep us in here? And Boyd said, don't worry. It's just, I won't fully wrench it back up. I'm just going to do it 1 finger turn. If anybody looks in here or tries, they'll just see the bars. Even if they tap it, it'll feel solid. But if you want to, if we decide to leave or you decide to leave them, you just unscrew these 2 bolts and pull the bar off. Now, I guess at the time I hadn't seen the ingenuity of Boyd. A corncob kid is somebody kind of wrote off a lot of the time. Somebody that's like 17 years old and still carrying a corncob pipe. You wonder where they're going. But Boyd would end up being incredibly successful in real estate and finance and all that kind of stuff. But it was also this solid reminder that there was a rule we were breaking or bending, that we were taking some kind of risk, and that this was real versus the game of golf we just played, which was more imaginary. But also, in a sense, these were like guardrails, right? The whole purpose of this gate wasn't to do any kind of locking. It was just to say, hey, not a good idea coming under here. And we talked about that, but Boyd said, the weather's dry. You could see there's the water lines, the highest they go is like to our calves, and everything else is fine. So, and Boyd said also, don't worry, you'll see right through. Because even if we went in, it wasn't totally dark. Not that far down on the other end was light coming in and another big hole. So we headed in that direction. And we said, is that where we're going, Boyd? And Boyd said, no, that's a view of the mall. That's where the most of the water empties out. We're going to turn up here. There's a couple turns we got to take. And then we passed the opening on our right, opening that kind of seemed like it was getting a little smaller. But Boyd said, if we want to look at the mall first, you could see where we're going. No worries. And this was the water from Fairglen, the water we just played mini golf over. So we walked to the end, and there was another set of bars and a pretty steep view where the water kind of flowed out of the culvert and then waterfall down and went down to a grate and then went under the ground, presumably under the mall. I didn't even think about it till this minute. Water went somewhere else. At that point, this was the end of the glen, but we had this amazing view up high because we were just below the road of the mall, which was probably 30, 50, 100 feet down and a couple football fields or parking lots away. And this was one of these malls, that time had left behind, even in our time when malls were popular. It wasn't big enough. It didn't have enough space, or I don't know, or maybe it was like a developer. I don't know the history. I just know this mall had been closed, as Boyd said, for 6 years. It was a mall of our youth, not our pending adulthood. But I was kind of struck by how it's kind of somewhat sad looking. It looked like a low warehouse, but it didn't look that different. There was still a lot of the signs were up, but they were, falling to pieces. Everything was just a little faded, but not like in the movies. The parking lines a little faded. The signs, the windows. It still looked like a mall, though. The only thing that wasn't faded was the fencing. The mall was surrounded by a fence, a tall metal fence that looked fairly new. And as I was looking at the fence, Sam said, barbed wire, fence is topped with barbed wire to keep people out, Boyd. Like, see, this is not a great idea. Why would you surround a mall with fence and barbed wire to keep people out? If it doesn't matter. And Boyd said, it's because they don't want people coming in and messing around in there. They don't want anybody, slipping, But the thing was, there was two sets of fences. One kind of had a distance through the middle of the parking lot, and one a little bit further in. And that's where Josie said, but the second fence, the barbed wire is facing in. What's up with that? That doesn't make any sense. It's like if you were trying to keep people in. Boyd pish-posh to Josie, right? Probably got a discount. I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake. It doesn't really matter. We don't need to worry about the fences. We're going under the fence. We're going to come out on the other side of the mall, right by Dr. Julius J. Juice. There's nothing to be concerned about. It's going to be fine. But I could feel the tension, right? And I didn't really have to wait for it to resolve because I still felt Sam move closer to me and Sam put his hand on my shoulder and said, listen, I can't go because my scholarship is contingent on, and Josie said, I can't twist my ankle or anything, so I can't go either. And the same thing, there's it's a morality clause on mine. They could withdraw my admission and everything, so I can't go either. And Josie put her keys in my hand and said, you take it. And then Sam said, listen, this will be easier anyway because we were going to let you keep the money. Now you won't have to argue with us about it. It'll be 50-50 between the two of you. And we'll help you move the boxes and load the truck and stuff. But then you two keep the money. It's like you got the course record. This didn't happen by accident. And I looked back at the mall and noticed that the skylights had a tinge of green, like a little moss or algae was growing on them. And I just kind of stared at them. And I don't know, I said, why, are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, let me take your thanks. It's cool. We'll get it. I kind of felt like it jumped already. I don't know that sense. But I took the keys, I put them in my pocket. I said, why don't you two go back and what if we just meet at BK for breakfast at 6:30? And we looked at our watches. I gave me and Boyd plenty of time, or even if we weren't done. And then don't worry. If you don't see me, if you don't see us by 8:30, come look for us. How to get back in and everything. And we kind of gave hugs all around, a little bit longer hugs, or I don't even know if the corncob kid gave any hugs or just a shrug and a nod. And they started to walk off. I could hear their footsteps plopping for a little while behind us. But Boyd and I turned back towards the mall. And Boyd said, don't worry. Really, it's going to be fine. We're going to come out over there. We're going to go. I'll go unlock the door. We'll go in. And we'll just start moving boxes. Simple as that. We'll move them in. And I said, well, where is it coming? And he said, something stuck in the side of a hill. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. Easy stuff. We'll bring everything into the first tube. We'll have everything loaded and spread out. Then we'll carry stuff back here. Then we'll carry stuff closer to the entrance. And then we'll see what time it is, and we'll decide if we should load the truck now or later. We could even take turns hanging with the stuff if we need to. But I don't see it being a problem. So let's get started. So then we turned back. Now, looking back at it, I just saw the bars and the hole that went back into the mini golf. But that didn't strike me as important at that moment. And we headed off, and that's when I started to hear something as we approached the turnoff, which was now on our left. And it was something like a wind, but if a wind could talk, like if the wind was wailing, a sound like that. And I said, but Boyd, do you hear that? And Boyd said, yeah, it's a wind. I said, it sounds like a voice in the wind. And Boyd said, okay, let's stop. And at first we heard some splashing. And then Boyd said, listen, and then that wind sound had stopped. And Boyd said, what do you hear now? I said, cars, a honk. Boyd said, I hear a dog barking. I think I hear kids playing, but I don't know if that's real. And then the sound started up again. And it didn't feel that far, like right at the turnoff, but a little ways in or something. It was darker in there. But Boyd pulled out a flashlight and said, don't worry. It's probably just a wind. I don't remember hearing it before, but I wasn't really listening when I was by myself, which is kind of weird. I was barely paying attention. I was just enjoying the sights. And Boyd said, yeah, we're going to go up here. We definitely want to stay left at this next cross, not turn. We were staying left, and it was good because the sound was coming from the right, the wind sound. And Boyd said, see, it's down that way. And that's when I heard something like all in a row, like a swish, a splat, an ugh, an ah, an oh, and I recognized the voices, Sam and Josie. And then, they were calling to us because it sounded like Sam was... they said, hey, get over here, quick as possible. They were saying it in a more active, louder way. And Boyd and I sprung into action, right? Boyd flashed his flashlight. And we saw Josie was holding on to the side of the culvert where the ribs are, the ribs in those old metal tubes. And reaching Josie's hand out and holding on to Sam's hand, who was, and Boyd said, there's a slide down there, it's a drop-off. Now, it was an angled drop-off, I guess like a slide, like Boyd had said. And Josie was hanging on, and we were rushing towards Josie when then Josie slipped. Josie was hanging on to Sam so much, and first Josie went to her knees, but then slid over the slide too. And I caught her hand. And we were all struggling, but we're all in pretty fair shape. And I could feel, because the ground is wet and kind of like water's there and it's swampy and stuff like that. And Boyd said, don't worry. Grab my belt. And Boyd threw, there was these, I didn't even realize it, other pipes, like water pipes or something, run along the roof. And Boyd even had a rope in that backpack and threw the rope over the pipes, started to tie it, secured around Boyd's forearm. But at this point, I was sliding over. And Boyd said, don't worry. And then Sam slid and said, whoa. And, of course, I was like, oh, boy, oh, no, And I'm trying to hold on to Josie, and Josie's expressing, but we could hear Sam. And Sam said, I'm okay, I'm down. It's not that much further down. And Josie said, okay. And then, of course, I lost Josie's grip, but Josie was ready and kind of slid on her butt and with her feet below her. And Boyd was flashing the light down. And we could see them, and they're about 15 feet down a slide. I don't know, not a 45-degree angle, but maybe. And so Boyd said, don't worry, I got the rope. We'll go down, and then we'll pull each other up. And it was slick, but the rope was good. So Boyd and I started to kind of rappel down. I don't know, we more like it was more like slowly sliding our feet and holding on to the rope. But when we were about halfway down, all of a sudden there was a jerk in the rope, and then the rope went slack, and we fell to our backs and our butts and slid all the way down. And it ended up that one of the pipes had broken, and water started rushing down on us. And we jumped up, and we were patting each other, checking each other, making sure we were all intact. And I think it was Sam tried to climb back up. The rope had come all the way down. And Boyd tried to throw the rope up a few times and said, yeah, we're not going to get back up there. It's fine, though. This is all interconnected down here. It'll be fine. We got the lights. But, of course, the flashlight started to fail, too. But it didn't totally go out. It just started to dim and you know, we all got a little irritable. What you didn't charge your flashlight? Like, dude, like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're leaving us out here without working flashlights? Boyd said, don't worry. I'm good at this. Don't worry. And Boyd said, okay, let's walk through where we are, and then we'll figure out where we're going. We'll come out near the mall. We'll either go back and start again tomorrow, or we'll keep going, and we'll find our way back to where we started. And so we kind of started to map out where we were compared to the road. You know, we had turned and then turned again. And it was like, okay, we kind of slid down back towards the road, but then it curved around to the left again. And Boyd said, yeah, we could go right, and that'll head back. Maybe we're under the road. Maybe we're under the glen. I don't know where that goes. And then if we go to the left, we're going like not towards the mall, but Boyd said, I don't know. Well, I'd say we go left. And then if not, we can come back and go right. And at this point, we walked a little bit, but Stan and Josie again, because they had already decided to leave, and that had been prevented, and it was getting a little cold. They kind of went on they expressed some displeasure, and they said, you know, like, what are we doing down here? What if the stuff they said about, wasn't the mall closed because, you know, giant mega corporations underneath the mall had stored stuff, and that stuff, you know, wasn't that why the mall closed? Not because of finances. You know, what I heard they were you know, what if they were really storing UFOs? You know, all these outlandish theories. And Sand was talking about DNA and all those kind of things. Then we reached another turnoff. Now, this one definitely turned left back towards the mall, if we were correct. And then straight ahead continued on what I would say, I don't know if it was north of the mall, but on the far side of the mall, continuing on straight ahead. And again, Boyd stopped and tried to build consensus and said, okay, I'm about 90% sure if we take this way, we're headed right back towards the mall. Now, we're below where I would have normally come out, but either there's going to be an upswing or we'll figure it out as we go. And I don't know if Josie and Sam were just trying to be contrarian, but they said, no, let's go this way and get out of here. And I kind of felt like I was caught in the middle. And they said, let's just try to get out of here, not go to the mall. I think this is best to forget the mall, forget your juice. Just get out of the mall, and then you guys can do this tomorrow without us, because we'd like to get out of here. And so we stood in this turning point, I guess, for a minute. And Boyd said, okay, let's think about it. And that's when I noticed, I said, okay, wait a second. The air coming from the non-mall direction, I stepped towards it a little bit, and it stunk like wet garbage, and it was a little bit humid. And then I stepped into the tube that headed towards the mall, and it was a little bit drier and maybe smelled a little plastery or like old paint, but that was about it. And I said, okay, like, can you smell what's coming from that direction? It smells like nasty, and this way smells drier and not as bad. I said, which way would you want to go based on that? And again, Sam and Josie were not happy about it, but I said, come on, let's just go this dry way and see where we come out. And then actually I said, how did you guys get lost when how did we get down here anyway? Like, how did you guys get lost when because you just had to walk straight to exit. Like, how did you end up where, and they said, we were going to surprise you too. We were making that noise because we wanted to mess with you and we thought it'd be hilarious. And then we were going to leave. And we were planning on sneaking up on you and then going. So sorry about that. And I think acknowledging that gave them some ownership over the situation. But they kind of did a sorry, not sorry thing. And so there we were in this tunnel. We headed in the direction back towards the mall. And we were trying to wonder how far down we were. But really, it was like we were up. So eventually we would have had to go down anyway. And we didn't realize that at the time. So it was like, actually, we're probably down at mall or below mall level. And Boyd said, yeah, exactly. We would have had to go down it the other way anyway. So we're right where we're supposed to be. And as we went this way, it got drier and drier and drier. And kind of clean, I mean, not shiny clean, but cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And eventually it ended at an end, but there was a ladder up, right? And it was like this mechanical thing to open these two doors. And Boyd said, let's give it a try and see. And it took some work and it took teamwork to get these two doors open, but they kind of popped open above us, just a short ladder too. And it was kind of in this darkish hallway. And it was like, is this the mall or somewhere else? And then we kind of listened. And again, we heard some wind sounds, but not human wind sounds. And Boyd said, I think this is the mall. This is like one of the maintenance corridors or something. And so we climbed out and we closed up the door, but we just stuck, we found, there's like stuff lying around on the floors and stuff. So Boyd shoved some cardboard just so we'd have some confidence we could get the doors back open if we needed to and go under. And Boyd said, all right, let's find a map. We started to look on the walls and we moved slowly. And it's definitely like those high ceilings you could move product through. And Boyd said, okay, this isn't on the same side of the mall as Dr. Julius Juice because that empties out right into the parking lot. But we'll find a map and we'll figure out where we are and then we'll assess things. And then we were like, have you been in any other parts of the mall, Boyd? And Boyd said, no, just Julius. That was the only door I could get open. I haven't got into this part of the mall before, but now I know how to get here. I will. And we noticed like in the hall were like all these posters, and they looked like they were to celebrate the trick or treat season, but they weren't super old. But again, it was so dark, different characters from the trick or treat season. Maybe they're like band posters. This is what I was thinking to myself, maybe people had parties here, But I should have paid more attention that the posters were newer than 6 years old, but at the time I didn't notice. And then we eventually found a map, like a map for the employees, I guess, or people that were lost. And we're right near some restrooms, and we used that because there wasn't a "you are here" thing, because I guess if you work there, you should know, but if you were doing deliveries, you should still know. And there was also an exit up ahead, and we were pretty much on the opposite side of the mall from where Dr. Julius J. Juice was. And we were kind of debating, should we try that exit, or should we just try to get to Dr. Julius K. Juice? Boyd was like, we could go right through the movie theater. Don't you guys remember the seniors when we were freshmen? They used to use this way to sneak into the movies. No, not when we were freshmen, Boyd. Oh, maybe it was like one of my older siblings then. And we could cut through the multiplex, go out of the multiplex, through the food court. And Boyd was working on mappings. And I said, wow, okay, it sounds like Boyd knows where we're going. And San and Josie were like, what if we just leave the mall? And Boyd said, well, there's the fences. I know if we leave, Boyd said, listen, we don't have to stay at Julius J. Juice. We'll just go in. We'll go out the back. And then Boyd said, but the door's locked. We'll go out like one of the adjoining stores. We'll get their door open. And I'll show you like where we'd come in and out anyway. And then we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what time it is. But don't worry, no pressure. But if we go out one of the other doors, we're just going to have to deal with the fences. And I don't know what, I haven't been out those doors. And that's when we heard something very distinct, which was, it sounded like it was in the restroom, and it sounded like someone groaning, like they were going to use the restroom or full of woe. And it was long and sustained, but not a kind of groan where you twist your ankle, though. More, a groan of woe or of working hard on the throne. And we looked at each other, and instantly we started to run away as quietly and as fast as we could. And then we started trying doors, because all the doors from the stores emptied into this corridor, right? Or their storage rooms or their back rooms. We tried one door, nothing, not one door. And about the fifth door, it turned, and Josie opened it, and we all rushed in and closed the door, and we stood right outside the door panting, wondering if whoever was groaning could hear us, and wondering, okay, this is probably whoever's in charge of keeping an eye on this place. And now we definitely can't get busted because, and Boyd said, don't worry. We'll just, we'll lay low here. Boyd locked the door. It had one of those little twists. And Boyd said, door's locked. We'll just stay here. No, don't worry. We'll get ourselves back out. No problem. We got plenty of time. And Boyd was trying to keep us calm. We all kind of started to sink to the floor, kind of in exhaustion, but around the door, and I kind of looked around. It was dark, but it was like, boxes and stuff like that. A lot of empty shelves. And right as our breathing started to calm down, and we started to kind of relax, a voice came from behind us. But it was a calm and reassuring voice, I want to tell you. And it said, hey, I'm glad you're here. I could use your help with something. And we all turned around, and there was, there's someone there who needed our help, I guess. They were asking for our help with something. But I think that's a good time to stop. I'm getting tired here, spinning this old tale. But, yeah, that's where we were. We were fine. Door was closed, and someone had asked for our help, and they seemed calm and kind, and they honestly could have used to. They had some questions. So for now, we'll leave it here, and we'll be back soon. Good night, everybody. Everybody, this is Scoots. I just want to thank everybody that recently joined us on Sleep With Me Plus. I want to thank Arn, Virginia, and Nicholas. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Becky, Heel, and Hillary. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Katie, Drew, and Frankie. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Lisa Marie, Cindy, and Angie. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Papa, Todd, and Liz. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Emma, Mariah, and Patrick. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. And Luke, Brianne, and Catherine. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody who supports the show. Couldn't do without all of you, and I really appreciate all of you, for supporting the show directly, whether it's on Apple Podcasts or Sleep With Me Plus, or you support our sponsors, or you used to support the show on Patreon. I really appreciate the fact you ever supported the show at all. I couldn't do without all of you. And what else can I say? Oh, well, if you're not in a position to support the show, you could, and you say, man, I really want some of that Sleep With Me Plus stuff. You get ad-free episodes and story-only episodes just by referring people to the show. You sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. You get your own referral link, and then as you share it and as people subscribe to the free podcast and listen to the free podcast, you get rewarded. So pretty sweet deal. And people have gotten a lot of referrals, so I appreciate it. So thanks so much, and good night, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a Tuck You In message. And you may have been hearing or listening, or maybe haven't, like the past month, listing all the people that that shouldn't support the show, right? If you're new, you only listen once in a while, you can't afford to support the show, you don't want to, you don't need to support the show. But that led to a question that tons of people on Sleep With Me Plus have been answering, and that maybe I could answer for you. Should you support the show? And the easiest question, it may have a quick answer. Yes. Are you listening to me right now? Yes. Are you hearing me right now? Yes. And do you want to be a part of this thing that we're doing? Sleepy joy and delight in the deep, dark night? And if the answer is yes, right now in this moment, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and sign up to not just support the show, but to be a part of this, being here for all those other people and for you. Not only will you get access to stuff based on how super listeners listen to the show, people that listen all night, people that have been listening for years, people that have favorites. They only listen to certain styles of shows. Maybe they only want the stories, but they want them as soon as they come out. Maybe whatever you like, that's what we built Sleep With Me Plus in mind. Or you just want ad-free listens, or you listen all night long. But are you a person that Sleep With Me, you feel comfort with this show? You found this show and you're like, man, this is what I've been looking for. Is that a yes? I never found anything like this. Is that a yes? You helped me when nothing else worked. That's a yes. I like the idea of having a bore friend or a bore bud. That's a yes. You're there when I need you. I can count on this show. Is that a yes? Yes. I listen when I wake up in the middle of the night. Yes, I listen when I have trouble getting to sleep. Yes, I listen to more than one episode a night when I need to. Yes, I listen every night I need the show because I know I can count on it. Yes, I've been listening for years and years and years. Or yes, I just want, yes, I'd rather skip the music or have a preference beyond what a regular listener might have. Yes, I know how much thought, care, kindness, caring, hard work from Scooter and other people go into making the show so it can be here for me. Yes, I hear and in listening when you ask for support. Yes, I know the show needs my support. Yes, I'm in a position where I can support the show, but most importantly, yes, I want to support the show. I can and I want to. And maybe I want to because it's a yes, I'd miss the show if it was gone. Yes, I don't think I could replace this podcast. Yes, I count on it.
Or maybe it's a yes. Wow, this podcast, when I support it, I get to help thousands of other people who count on this show. Yes, me supporting this is rare in this world. Even being in a position to support the show is pretty rare. Yes, having a desire right now to take action to support something I care about is tough and rare. It's not easy. That's the one thing I've learned over the past this year is how tough it is to support the show. Not just financially, but there's something in everybody's way, and that's normal. So I'm looking for the people who have so many yeses, they outweigh those barriers, like to support the show right now. Yes, I know it will feel good when I support the show. Yes, I know I could cancel at any time. I'm not committed to anything either. Yes, I love the bore giggles. Yes, I love sleepy joy and delight in the deep dark night. Or yes, I just love the boredom, the consistency, the tone of the show. Yes, this podcast has changed my life. Yes, this podcast has changed my relationship with sleep. Yes, my life is better when this show is a part of it. But yes, right now I'm going to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus and sign up to support the show. And yes, I'll set up the bonus content tomorrow. I won't do that because I'm already in bed. I'll just support the show now. But really, even if it's not your yes, I'm a part of this thing that's important to a lot of people. Yes, I'm a part of this thing that makes my life better and other people's lives better. And I want it to be here in this world. It is so different than a lot of things I see during the deep, dark day. Yes, I want to be a part of this thing, and I want to feel good about it. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you can't, you don't need to feel, I mean, you might feel things about it, right? Because we all do. But it's not a strategy. Yeah, it's really hard to support the show, even when you're in a position to. And yeah, not everybody's in a position to, or not everybody has those yeses. Not everybody wants to support the show. And maybe you're just a new listener, listen along with curiosity, or you're one of those people that listens to the show every once in a while when you're going through one of those seasons of life, one of those phases from life. You're a quote unquote regular listener. You only listen for a little bit at a time. You really don't need to support the show. I mean, I guess you could, but you don't need to. We just need those people with all those yeses. And I guess to get one of those people where the yeses pile up in a way that they switch the balance. And it's like, right now, I'm going to go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And that they realize, that you realize on one side, it's pretty normal to not be in a place financially or just where you want to support the show, or where it's even possible. There's so many obstacles in that way, and that's okay. But that is also a big yes when someone does that, because that is what keeps the podcast around. And that is a sign, hey, I don't want this show I want this show to be here. I can't replace it. So if any of those are, if you have enough yeses, please consider supporting the show. Thanks.